Focus is the key. It doesn't matter if we're talking about losing weight or sitting at your desk and getting work done. If you keep getting distracted, you won't get far in either. The issue is, though, is that everything nowadays is trying to grab our attention, making it harder to focus. And that's where these 5 hacks will help. Hack 1. Care less. I don't care about a lot, because if you care about a lot, you don't really care about anything, and your focus follows the things you care about. So if you care about a lot, you also focus on a lot. And if you focus on a lot, you're not really focused at all. And that's why you should cut back on the things that you care about. I like to break it down into 3 categories: health, wealth, and relationships. At any given time, most of my focus is allocated to one of those 3 things. Anything else, I don't have the mental space for. Not the news, not the current events, and especially not what anyone else is doing. And when my head is clear of all that noise, and I have that one thing that I'm prioritizing, my focus is crystal clear. Hack 2. Practice singular focus. So even if you remove all distractions, like social media, TV shows, and music, your mind will still wander. Like when you're sitting down and doing work, your mind might wander to your plans in the evening. Or say you're at the gym, you might start thinking about what you're going to eat post-workout. And that doesn't sound that deep. It doesn't really sound like a big issue. But when you actually need to focus, when you actually need to sit here and nail down on your work, you'll be saying otherwise. So the fix is to practice singular focus. All that means is to focus on only one thing at a time. So if you're out on a walk, just walk. If you're watching a movie, just sit and watch the movie. I don't recommend it, but if you're scrolling on your phone, just scroll on your phone. By doing that, you train yourself to get absorbed into whatever it is you're doing, and that will carry over into the things you want to focus on. Hack 3. Remove bad habits. Bad habits take away your focus. Let's say you're sitting at your desk and you get the urge to scroll on Instagram. You're now fighting that urge to stay focused, which is taking away your focus. Or let's say you're at the gym and you really want to go outside for a vape. You might still do every rep of every set, but because your mind is somewhere else, each rep isn't as effective. And the only solution that I've found to that problem is to remove bad habits entirely. Removing bad habits takes time. They weren't developed overnight. You probably tapered on, so you have to taper off. That means, say you currently spend 4 hours on social media a day, you shouldn't cut back to none. You should go from 4 hours to 3 to 2 and then 1. Also, I know it's tempting to focus on multiple bad habits at once, but you should just focus on one at a time so your plate doesn't feel too full. And as you remove each bad habit, you'll notice your focus will start to improve. Hack 4. Picture your mind as a muscle. Think of your mind as a muscle, at least when it comes to focus. Let's say you tense your bicep all day and then you go to the gym to train arms. You're not going to be able to lift as much as you normally could. The same goes for your mind. If your mind is tense all day, then when it comes to actually sitting down and focusing, you're going to be too tired. The only solution to that problem is having the ability to turn your mind off. If you're anything like me, turning your mind off is difficult. It takes work. The first step is to recognize that always trying to be locked in feels productive, but isn't, because it drains your energy. Then you have to practice turning your mind off. And you can do that by being more mindful. So as soon as you recognize your mind starting to whir on whatever feels important at that time, switch it off. Literally clear your head. And keep practicing that. Because the more you do it, the easier it will become to turn off. And as you learn to keep your mind turned off for the majority of the day, you're going to be less tense and more relaxed. Then when it comes to your focus session, you have the energy to go all in. Hack 5. Consume long-form content only. I think this one is fairly obvious. If you're only consuming short-form content, you're training your attention span to be short as well. Then when you need to do something that requires you to focus for a longer period of time, which is anything worthwhile doing, you're going to struggle. To turn that around, only consume long-form content. So read books, listen to audiobooks, listen to podcasts and watch movies. And as you train your attention span to be longer in your leisure time, it will carry over into your work as well. Focus requires practice, and that has to happen both inside and outside the thing you want to focus on. Because if you don't, if you only try to focus when it's actually time to focus, that's like a sports team going into a real game without any training. You're not going to perform well.